All right, the Steelers also are unsettled at the quarterback position, and they were one of the teams that at one point, a few weeks ago, I thought, hey, the Colts, the Saints, and the Steelers, there's going to be a bidding war for Jimmy Garoppolo until each team found its own solution. And John Lynch said himself, the shoulder surgery scared these teams off. It looked like they were going to get something for Garoppolo, but the Steelers still looking for answers at quarterback. Here's Mike Tomlin on entering the offseason program, not really knowing who their quarterback will be come week one.
I'm really excited by it. I'm energized by it. I love the anxiety associated with uncertainty. I think it brings the best out in me, and I think it's going to bring the best out in us. At least I'm hopeful that it will.
Do you feel like you have that guy on your roster now?
I'm comfortable with the talent that we have at the position now, and that's not saying that I'm not open to adding to it as we move forward.
They've made no secret of their interest in these rookie quarterbacks.
That's right.
They show up for the pro day workouts, and they're sitting there at number 20. And see, that's why I think that if there's a guy they really like, they're not going to sit there. They're going to move up. Kevin Colbert, the GM of the team, downplayed that possibility. That's fine. That's what you need to do, so you don't have people pegging higher than 20 if they want to get the guy that they think the Steelers want. But the Steelers have shown in the past, Troy Polamalu, Antonio Holmes, Devin Bush, they'll move up to get the guy they want.
Yeah, no question.
If they decide that there's a guy there that's going to be their next franchise quarterback, they will move up to get him. Because like Ron Rivera said, as it relates to Matthew Stafford last year, nobody's going to remember what the Rams gave up to get him. So if there's a guy that the Steelers love, they'll go get him. And if they don't make that move, I think we can conclude there isn't a guy that they really love among the incoming class of rookies.
Right. Or again, I could see one of them them reading the room a little bit and going, wait, this team doesn't need a quarterback. This team maybe they can sit back. It's a year where I don't think it's a guarantee we're going to have like 3 guys go in the top 20. I would say that for my money, Pickett, Corral, Willis are top 20 picks. I think they're more talented than other guys in other years who have gone in the top 20. That's what I would say. But that's the good thing about what the Pittsburgh Steelers did with Trubisky. It gives them a little flexibility to kind of do whatever they want here. Oh, wait, the quarterback we like's on the board at 15. All right, let's go get him. Oh, yeah, hey, it's Malik Willis. We might want to put him on the bench for the year. He's a little raw, right? But he's got big-time talent. Okay, we got Trubisky to kind of be that guy to hold it over. All right? I mean, if they don't get the quarterback, like you said, and there's nobody there that they do like, all right, they got Trubisky. He's got talent and potential. You see where it goes, and you reassess, as the season goes along. And you just kind of play it by ear that way. So they've given themselves options. And where they're sitting at 20, they're in a decent spot, like you said, to where they might be able to make a move up to get into the early teens or something like that if one of these quarterbacks they like is sitting there. You said it. He's been at the Corral. He was at the Malik Willis workout. Mike Tomlin, in years past, when he's been at quarterback workouts, there's usually legitimate interest. Like my dad, he brought it up to me last week. He's like, Mike Tomlin, I remember he was standing right behind Mason Rudolph. They got Mason Rudolph. I remember he was with Josh Dobbs down in Tennessee. They went and got Josh Dobbs. So we'll see. They certainly aren't hiding their intentions like you talked about.
Yeah, the only problem is they don't scout quarterbacks nearly as well as they scout receivers. Other than Roethlisberger, think about the guys they've drafted since Ben Roethlisberger, and they will draft mid-round quarterbacks from time to time. Wasn't Mason Rudolph a second-round pick?
He was a second round, I believe, yeah. Yes.
They haven't exactly done, for all the things they do right when it's time to pick a receiver, and Kevin Colbert and company have been masterful at that, all the way back to Antonio Brown with a 6th-round pick in 2010. They've had other guys over the year, Mike Wallace, who was a mid-round pick, I think a 3rd-rounder maybe. They've found some great receivers in the draft, but they have not been able to find competent, even backup quarterbacks. Landry Jones was there for a little while, but
they had Charlie Batch, who was a good, but nothing.
Well, that was a guy they signed before Roethlisberger and was there forever.
Right.
Forever. He went from starter with the Lions in 98, 99, 2000, 2001-ish, and then landed with the Steelers in 2002. That was one of our first big scoops back in the early days of PFT, where we reported the Steelers were bringing Charlie Batch in for a visit. And people were like, what the hell? He's a starting quarterback. Why is he coming in? Why do they want him? Or whatever year it was, he went from being starter to willing backup of the Steelers and was there for a long time. But, oh, my gosh, here are the guys they've drafted since Roethlisberger. Mason Rudolph, Joshua Dobbs, Landry Jones, Dennis Dixon, who I thought had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
He had that torn ACL at Oregon that derailed his career. Omar Jacobs. Before that, it was Brian St. Pierre, T. Martin, one of the Brady Six, Spence Fisher, and then all the way back to Cordell Stewart in 1995. But it's a challenge, the most important position on the field. And they went 20 years between Terry Bradshaw, the original TB12, and Ben Roethlisberger. And they somehow went to the playoffs a lot.
They did.
Went to a Super Bowl once with a revolving door of relative no-names at quarterback. And maybe they're just content to try that again. But you know what? Here's what I keep coming back to. 10% drop in viewership last year in Pittsburgh. No shows at Heinz Field. You need people to show up and pay for overpriced parking and food and beer and stuff. They need to do something. They need to do something to address this quarterback position. And it may be as simple as Baker Mayfield. Step one, draft. And if it doesn't work out at the draft, that Mayfield possibility is still going to linger.
Yeah, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Again, I think they like Trubisky as far as his skill set. Everything we heard last year, Matt Canada wants that quarterback that can run. Like we've discussed that. They want to do a little more movement with the quarterback. But you look here, Mike, at the draft, and I'm just looking here, pick by pick, first round. We know the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Seahawks. They need quarterbacks. They're picking there at 6, 8, and 9. But once you kind of get out of that area right there, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a slam dunk that those teams take quarterbacks right there at those picks. I don't. I could see maybe somebody trading down and trying to go a little lower. But once you get into the teens a little bit there, you go, well, nobody needs a quarterback. And that's where Pittsburgh might get lucky to where somebody could drop down or they might be able to make the move there. I mean, the Texans are the only team you look at from 10, to other than the Saints, 10 to 20. The Saints and the Texans are the only two teams you look at there that could go. Maybe they could make a quarterback move. They could maybe.
But what you got to worry about is after.
Yes.
You got to worry about somebody
who's going to come up behind. I hear you.
Because the Steelers are planting that flag of we're looking quarterback at 20. So if there's a guy you like that you think we may like, you better jump us. That's what makes me think that they may need to jump someone else.
They might. You have the team like Detroit who's got pick 32 and pick 34, right? They'll be able to make a move and trade some picks up if they got to get into the teens. So they're going to have two picks to play with. That would be something that worried me. And then I guess, like you talked about, I mean, whether that's the Panthers or the Seahawks putting a package together to jump up, in front of them at 20, or maybe they trade back like we talked about, from 9 or 6 and try to sit there and see better value at taking a quarterback there. So we'll see. I don't think anybody's got a great feel for the overall draft yet and how some of these guys are going to be valued and what positions are going to go off the board, early. It'll be interesting. But I think the Steelers, I just feel like Malik Willis is on their radar. He makes sense. He does. I think he's got a style of play that's very intriguing and has a wow factor to it, to your point, to sell the tickets and all that. And if they want to run the quarterback and do, a little bit of the pulling guard Josh Allen stuff, Malik Willis is very natural and strong enough, and you saw those legs to where he can do it and be pretty damn good at it.
And even if they stick with Trubisky.
Yeah.
Is that an upgrade over shell of himself, Ben Roethlisberger last year?
Yes, I'm going to say yes, and I don't say that lightly because I think a lot of Big Ben. But yes, Trubisky's arm is going to be stronger than Big Ben, and then of course his ability to move and do things in the pocket is greater than Big Ben. And then Mike, like we talked about too so many times, Big Ben got at that age of his career where, we talk about with Brady a little bit, where he wasn't willing to stand in there and take the shot for the guy to come open down the field. That's why every pass was 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. Yes, the offense was like that. Yes, he was getting them to plays like that. And yes, I think there was a little bit of an unwillingness to sit there and take the punishment for the big play down the field.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.